Dear learners, this is Shashi Ramachandran. Welcome to the second part of accounting terminology. Check out the first part where I explained a few accounting terms like capital, proprietor, stock, purchases, sales, etc. And the link is in the description box. In this part, we will be learning two more type accounting terms, that is assets and liabilities, and also we'll learn their types. As assets as a first thing, so assets are something which gives you benefit in future, or we can say these are the properties which are owned by the business. These are the properties which are owned by the business, and it gives you economic benefits. It gives the economic benefit to the business in future. So anything which gives a benefit in future is termed as assets. Like a cash in your pocket again is an asset for you. Why? Because it is going to give you benefit in future. So bank balance is an asset. Your own house, your property, your furniture is an asset for you because that gives you economic benefit in future. So let's learn about the classification. So assets can be classified as current assets, non-current assets, fictitious assets, and also this non-current asset is further classified. So to understand it in a better way, we'll take it one by one. Current assets. The current assets are the one which again gives you the benefit in a short period. That means within a year, it can be converted into cash. So within a short period, any asset which can be converted into cash is termed as current assets. So short period in accounting, we say short period as a 1 year accounting period. Okay, so 1 year, even the cash is a current asset. Then bank balance is a current asset because you go to the uh, like ATM counter and get the cash withdrawal there. And the stock is a current asset. Debtors are the person, your customer, those who have given you those to whom you actually sold the goods to them on credit. So they are going to give you money within 1 year. Of course, your customers will give you grant them credit for 2 months, 3 months. So they are the one who are going to give you money back soon. So they also will be termed as current assets. Next one is non-current assets. So as the name says, this is not for the short period. Okay, and also not meant for resale. So anything which gives you benefit for a longer period, which is not meant for resale, or it is for the investment purpose. Say the machinery in a business or a furniture in a business, it actually is bought not for resale, and also it gives you the benefit in future. It is an investment in the business, and it has a earning capacity. Okay, so non current asset can be classified as fixed asset and non current assets. Coming to this fixed assets again, because it's a part of a non current assets, the one which are fixed in nature, they are the one which again the three features are there, that it is for a longer period, it has a earning capacity, okay, and also not meant for resale. So fixed asset, if I take it separately, fixed asset are not meant for resale, but with the purpose of to increase its earning capacity. Machinery bought by a factory is used to for the production, so it helps them to increase their production, to fetch a profit, like to earn more profit for growth, for expansion. So fixed asset is something which has a increase, which has a like earning capacity power, and also it's not meant for resale. Okay, on the other hand, non current investments are the investments which are meant for, like these are the direct investment outside the business, and in return you will get income, that is interest on these investments. So again, these investments also has a earning capacity. Okay, so investment done outside the business. So if it's a short term, then it will become your current asset. Short term investment is your current asset, and the long term investment will be your non current investment, or a non current investment which will give you long term benefits. So this also gives the benefit in future. Now further, this fixed asset is divided into two. One is a tangible assets, another is intangible assets. Now coming to this one, tangible assets. So name says that tangible, which is physical in nature, means physical, which has a physical existence that can be touched or seen. So any asset, again, any fixed asset which can be touched and seen is a tangible asset. So under fixed asset, like the assets, building, machineries, furniture, vehicle, okay, anything which can be seen or touched. And the common properties, of course, are there. They are not meant for resale. Also, it has a earning capacity because these things are being used in the business to earn profit, to like increase the volume of the production. So they are fixed tangible assets. So moving to the next one, that is intangible assets. So again, the one which do not have physical existence. They can be seen or touched. So intangible assets, let's talk about this. Intangible assets are the one which has a earning capacity. Means again they give like it is gives the benefit in future. They have a earning capacity, but they cannot be seen, like the copyright on the documents, on the books. So you have a your right on that, and of course because of this copyright you are earning the royalty on that, and on the other hand nobody else can use it. You have another rights. Patent is for the production. You have production rights. You have you own, nobody else can produce that product. You are the only one, so automatically it brings a reputation to your company. Okay, and if you have a specific customer list, those who are buying from you only, your brand, your trademark, these are all the assets, but they are intangible in nature because it cannot be seen. But of course it has a earning capacity. That means it gives you benefit. Brand names, you just look for a brand name. Once you are habitual of any brand, or you like the quality of that particular brand, so brand automatically brings customers, it brings business. Okay, and that increases your reputation. Now the reputation in a business is called as a goodwill. So the goodwill of the firm here means the reputation of a firm. And reputation of the firm you cannot see. You can see the growth of the company. You can see the share price of the company going high. You can see the brand name becoming popular. You can see the companies earning profit. Okay, employees satisfied, good management. So these all things you can see, and from this you can make out that company's goodwill is good or the company's reputation is good. So it's intangible. You cannot see it directly, but of course you can feel it. You can feel that saying that their reputation is high. So intangible assets are the one which cannot be seen, but of course they are meant to fetch long term benefits. So these are intangible assets which cannot, in your knowledge, of course, that's also one good part. What knowledge you have, that is your intangible asset, because that will give you benefit, and that gives you only that benefit, and that knowledge cannot be uh, seen by someone. Only your, means whatever you do, that only gives us a impression that yes, he is a knowledgeable person or a knowledgeable student, if I talk about you. Okay, now intangible assets. Next in a row, it's a fictitious assets. So we learnt about current assets, non-current asset. Current asset meant for short term, gives benefit in a shorter period, can be converted into cash. Non-current assets can't be converted into cash, meant for long term, not meant for resale, has a earning capacity. In this also you have either the investment or in a asset, fixed asset form. Fixed asset is again classified as tangible and intangible. Tangible, which is like can be seen as a earning capacity, again the same thing. Intangible, which cannot be seen. Now fictitious asset is something which is neither the tangible nor the intangible. So we can't say it as a tangible or an intangible. Exactly, fixed asset is something, as the name says, it's a fake. These are the assets. These are not a asset in a true sense. Actually, these are the huge expenses. or the losses which are not covered in one particular profit and loss account. Okay, say I'll give you example of this. These are the examples of fictitious assets. You have advertisement or a promotion expenses, discount on issue of debentures, preliminary expenses, loss on issue of debentures or shares. So the second and fourth one I'll not explain, because this you will learn as we go further in our chapters. So I'll come to this promotion expenses now. You know that business spend lot on the promotion, for marketing, for advertising. Okay, they spend lot these days. That is important rather than your quality of product. Any quality of product can be sold in a, like in a you can increase your sale by having good promotion activity. Okay, so even the filmmakers are promoting their films. So promotion, they spend a lot on the promotion. Now of course this promotion, that's a huge expense, but this huge expense they cannot show in one go, or you can say can't show it as a expenses for 1 year. That expenses will give them benefit for a longer period. So that expenses, instead of showing in 1 year, what they do is, because if they show it in a 1 year, what will happen? Of course, this expenses will lead them to the losses, because expenses will be more, and the earning, it may go beyond the earning, or it may be near to that. So correctly what happens is benefit, since the benefit you are fetching for the longer period, so you are going to divide this advertisement. For example, for a visual advertisement of a product, that advertisement is like for long time it runs, so it's not meant for 1 year. Fine. So what you can do is, if you know that you are going to divide it in 5 years, so suppose rupees 1 lakh is a advertisement expense. It's not 1 lakh exactly, it goes as a 1 crore rupees. So like you will dividing it by 5, say for 5 years. So every year, this is the one which you are going to show it as an advertisement expenses. Instead of showing 1 lakh in 1 year, every year 20,000 is written off. The word is write off. Every year the huge expenses, instead of showing it in 1 year, every year a part of that is written off. So every year what we are showing as an advertisement expense, we are showing 20,000 as an expense. So 1 lakh was a total expense, out of which you showed 20,000 as an expense. Remaining will become your fictitious asset. This is just a fictitious because still it is not written off. Okay, it is not yet written off. So the reason, I hope it's clear, because we cannot take this in one particular year of profit and loss. We can't show it in one particular year, because it, what will happen, we know that this huge expenses were meant for longer period. So we cannot show it in 1 year and show the this huge expenses, 1 lakh of expenses will go high. So instead of that, what we do, we just divide. It can be like, again, it's based on the assumption of the firm. They can take it as 5 or 10 years. They want to divide it in like during 10 years, so they can go for 10,000 each. Same way, there is preliminary expenses. Now preliminary expenses is an expenses which is before the starting of business. So it's the expenses which are done before the incorporation. Now incorporation of business means before the start of the business, because once the business starts, you have to get it registered. So before this incorporation, before getting the registration certificate, you spend a lot on that, because you first thing, you hire some professionals. You go for a some feasibility test, like you see whether your business, like whatever your project is, whether it will be successful or not. You go for you see the competitors in the market, whether how many competitors do you have, what is the price. So you spend a lot on this research work. Also you spend amount for the premises, you spend amount for the machinery, maybe, like, because you're getting at a good rate now, but your business will take 2 years to start. So you are now only you bought that machine, so you are spending a lot before the incorporation of the business. That is what called as a preliminary expenses. Now again, these preliminary expenses are the huge amount, but they are not meant for 1 year. Why? Because whatever the expenses are done, amount is gone. Point here is how to show it. Showing it in the books of account means one, you can't, it's not logical that you are showing it in 1 year. If you show it in 1 year, it seems that this is 1 year expense, but this is for incorporation. It was meant to, like, give benefit for long time. The machinery which is bought, the research what was done, is meant to give a benefit in a future. So instead of showing this huge expenses in 1 year, we divide them into parts like 5 or 10 years. So every year that part is shown as an expense, and the remaining is considered as a fictitious asset. So it is a fake asset. Basically, it is a fake asset which is not exactly an asset. So I hope you understood this one. So moving to the next one, liabilities. So as asset, what we have seen, that asset is something which gives the benefit. Liability is something which a business owes or payable. The amount which is payable by the business. It is owed by the business. Business owe someone. That amount is called as liabilities. So firm has assets, business has assets as a property, what it owns, and the one which it owe, or the payable amount which has to be paid to the outsider, okay, which has to be paid to someone else, is called as a liabilities. Okay, now liabilities are again classified as internal liability and external liability. Now, an external is classified as current liability and a non-current liability. Okay, again, this also will be taking one by one. Coming to this one, internal liability. Internal name suggests it is the liability. Liability, what you learned, that the amount which is to be paid uh, to someone. Now, if it is an internal person, now who is an internal person? Just recall, we did in a previous video, we learned that is the owner of the business, proprietor, the one, the proprietor of the business. He invested capital into the business. So business is liable, or obligation is business is it's business obligation, or business is liable to pay this money back to the proprietor. So if you remember, the capital invested by the proprietor is a internal liability. The example of internal liability is capital, the one which owner contribute to the business. So business owes that, and it owes to the internal party. So owner's equity or capital. Coming to the next one, external. So as internal is for the internal party, external is for the external one, means the liability or the amount payable to the outsiders, like bank loan. Business needs money, so proprietor has invested. It's not necessary that it is sufficient, so they finance their business by taking loan from outsider. Okay, even the debentures, you will learn more about this in like in future chapters. Like, so even the supplier who gives you a small credit by giving you goods on credit. So if he is giving you goods on credit and asking money after 3 to 4 months, then for 3 to 4 months you can utilize this money somewhere else. So that is also a kind of a liability. It's also kind of a small loan. Okay, so external parties, if business owes to external party, is an external liability, and current liability in this is the one which is well, the which is payable within a within 12 months. The amount which is payable within 12 months is from the end of accounting period. That is what called as a current liability, means within 1 month. As I said, the supplier. Supplier is a one to whom you have to pay within 2 to 3 months or 4 months maximum. So you have to pay him. So he becomes your current liability. Actually, the supplier who gives goods on credit is called as a creditor. Okay, therefore I have shown this picture here. The creditor is a one who gives you who supplies goods on credit. So creditor has to be paid within a year. So it is an example of current liability. Same way, short term loan. If you have taken a loan from the bank, for business has taken a loan from the bank for a shorter period, that is current liability. And on the other hand, long term non current liability is meant for long period liability, which is payable after a period of more than an year a year from the end of the accounting period. So long term loans and the debentures are the best example. So long term loans means taking loans from the business for a longer period, more than 1 year. Debenture is, in simple word, now you can understand this way. The debenture again is a loan, but loan from the public directly. It's a loan from the public. So again, it's a loan which is to be pay to it's a payable amount which is to be paid. So that is your liability. I hope it's clear. Well, so hope you like this video. Share this video with your friends and do subscribe to my channel Exuberant Learners. Also click on the bell icon to get the latest updates on my channel. You can write in a comment box if you have any query regarding this. So do write. Thank you.